How do? Right then, today's job is to turn this stool into a tool stand cum trolley thing. It started off life as a stool, and then it became the stand for me forge with a few other little bits attached. And then once I moved the forge, the little propane forge anyway, it just was in the way. So seeing as I'm actually getting everything on wheels, so it's easier to move around, I've got some more wheels which I'm going to weld onto the bottom, and then if I just have all my hammers and my tongs mostly in one place, that'll be a good thing. So that plate is going to go in amongst there, so I can have stuff I don't use quite as often down there, with me handiest stuff there and tongs dangling around the side. And then I can still trundle that around, and that'll also free up a bit more space. But all of those hammers won't be going on because they're big. So don't quite know how it's going to turn out. I'm just going to do it. Right, I've cut these down to size. I don't need all of that, so that can go out the way. I've just got the ends which are going to fit on like so, and they fit in there. So I'm going to weld them on, and then while I'm on, so whoever made this stool didn't do much in the way of welding, so I'm just going to stick a few little bits on there just to sort of shower it up a bit. So right, I'm just going to do a close-up of my hole. Right, get some welding done. Right, looking nice and tidy, you'd think. Yeah, and I thought make sure I put them on the right way, because I'm really clever like that. And do they fit? Do they shite? So for some dopey reason I've managed to put them on upside down, so I will cut them off and start again like the tit that I am. God, you'd think I was bloody 16 with a shit for brain stunt like that. Right, try again. Right, that wasn't a pain in the arse at all. So got that sorted. I've even done a plate to go on there. I foolishly assumed that whoever made it square. It is a kind of a square if the square was drawn by Pablo Picasso. So yeah, so it's in, and that's what counts. So I'm going to have a handle on here, but if I call on my new cock and balls, but with a little bit extra, this is the alien one known as E.T. the extra testicle. These are going to get welded on. Well, hold on, there you go. So that's sitting back, and then that is going to sit on like that, but a bit more there. Right, let's crack on. Right, well, I started getting clever because I was going to try and do a little groovy pattern with the welds, but I ended up making a mistake, so sod it. So I just ground it down, put some paint on, but still a groovy handle. Put some test hammers on just to see how many I'm going to get on. I'm going to have to build things to come out the side for the tongs to hang on, but I think I'm going to have to build it up a little bit so they don't fall off or something like that. I'm probably going to put something around there for other stuff underneath, just to help it stay in place. And I've dug out a few oldies, little useless spanners that I'm not going to use. I've got loads more as well, but yeah, I think I'm just going to jazz it all up with lots of spanners. So I was hoping to finish it all off tonight in a one-er, but seeing as I went and arsed up the first job, well, I didn't. So I'll stop for my tea and I'll relax for a bit and I'll get stuck in again tomorrow. I do, tomorrow now. So what I've decided is these old spanners, which I've just wire brushed down, are going to get mounted on round the sides like that, and these are going to get welded on like that. So these are going to get welded on kind of like that, so all your tongs can fit on there. And then once this is up a height, that I'm going to use the little spanners, which there's a few there, to go and do a little sort of picket spanner fence to go around. And I'm going to do something like that around there as well. So yeah, that'll look very spannery in a minute. So right, here's a test fit for some tongs. So that looks all right so far. If what I was thinking of doing was having some little spanners on the inside, but I think what I'll have to do, hang on a minute, yeah, luckily I've got loads of spanners spare, is do another offset like Arman sort of, so just so the tongs can sort of sit there happily. So if I do something like that and then do like a little sort of daisy chain, spanner chain link thing, and that'll help the hammers all stay in place. Yeah, that's becoming a bit more of a faff than I thought, but hey, that's what I do. Right, a little bit more progress. I was going to do lots of little spanners and stuff here and there, but then I just fancied bidding class. I made a load of them to sell for people to put on rat rods and garages and stuff, where I thought I've got to have at least one for myself. Class. Right, let's keep going. Right, a bit more progress. So I've got those sides on. Yeah, it helps if I get everything in frame. So what I'm going to do is just get some of these little ones. I'm going to fill in like that, the other one there, and then faff around between there and there, and I think that'll probably do for tonight. So one more update and then I'm going for my tea. Right then, I think this will do for tonight. So I've added a few little bits here and there, and there I've got my good old skull and crossbones there. So if I come back a bit, stand in front of the heater and burn my legs, you look at it, actually looks like sort of Daedric altar from Skyrim. So maybe I should make a metal dragon priest mask and hang that up somewhere. But I think what I might do now is actually close that up and put a sign on saying random leveled loot. Or maybe not. So, right, that's not bad for now. I just need to get me little finishy off bits done round the bottom, and then it's done. So, right, tea time. Right then, final session I hope. So what I need to do is just get me little borders around there, and maybe a lower one at the front or something like that. So I'm not likely to run out of spanners anytime soon, so I'll see what I can come up with. Right, here's next. This is what I've decided on. So yeah, that's still hot. So that, if I can get down enough, is going to get welded down onto there. So I'm going to get those 3 sides done, and I'm going to do something a bit different from the front. So I'm not quite sure yet. It'll probably be more spanners by the looks of things. So right, I'm going to get this on its side and get welded in a minute. Right, there you go. I've done just an extra couple on the front, and let's do a loop-de-loop, twisty, turny, whatever it's called. There you go, quite pleased with that. I think, yeah, I've got, eventually, I might, just because I'm me, just keep building up and up and up, because I'm that sort of guy. But I don't know. But that's mostly complete for now. So if I can zoom out a bit, there we go, and you get the weird fisheye vibe. There. Yeah, I just need to find a little place to put my maker's mark on. But other than that, I'm quite happy. So, aye, one little addition. I was thinking I haven't done any action shots for a while. I've just done the little update intervals here and there. So I'll just do a little bit of a action shot for me finishing touch. Spin around a bit. Bollocks. Right, for the final finishing touch. Ta-da! That looks quite pretty actually. So, right, let's take that back and trying to remember which bits are the hot bits now. Right, there you go. One sacrificial altar come tool trolley made out of a stool and tools. So, right, I'll think of something to do soon, but early finish, tea time, and I'll see you in a bit. Right, one quick glamour shot with me tools out. There you go, still got room for a few more. That's a lot of me hammers, but not all of them. So yeah, good job. Boing! Penis testicles, raw style.